Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I'm your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? We're starting off with our game news topics of the day. Our first game news topic is we have trailers now for the Invincible Versus game. We have official Invincible gameplay and Atom Eve gameplay, kind of how they do for the Mortal Kombat game. So let's go ahead and dive in and check this out. Now, mind you, again, volume YouTube sucks, but we'll see how it goes. If there's music playing, I'll mute the sound and talk over it, but hopefully not. I actually have not seen these yet. I wanted to watch them with you guys, so let's go ahead and check that out, shall we?
I'm stronger than you, Thula. Always have been. I'm ending this! Incoming! Here you go! This is gonna hurt! Not done yet! Last one! Stay down! This is over! Nailed it! Here you go!
I want to look up.
I'm up! Just fucking die!
Okay, that looked pretty fun. I'm sorry, I probably wasn't making too big of reactions, but man, that looked really, really fun. Really entertaining. I love some of these moves that he has here. Let's mute it and go ahead and go over some of these moves. Like this drop down kick looks awesome. The graphics look pretty phenomenal. I'm really digging the way that it's looking here. I do like the team up abilities too. Just everything looks phenomenal. The blood too. I'm curious if you're gonna be able to have the bones snap or anything like that, because they in the show they continue to fight with all that going on. So I'm curious if that's gonna be some of the cutscenes and stuff. Oh man, that looks so good. I wonder if that's his ult. I wonder if we're gonna have multiple takedown ults, or if this is gonna be the main one here that we just saw. That looked awesome. That's so cool. Now let's go ahead and jump over and check out the Atom Eve one, shall we?
Don't start with me. You know exactly what I'm capable of. Going up. Take this. I want to look up. Take this. All right, coming through.
I'm here!
Try harder.
Stay down!
Back off. I am ending you. I see it all now. Every single molecule.
That makes sense for that move to be her ult. I was hoping for like, while I love seeing her create like certain objects with her powers. Not those spikes. Didn't she do like a twirling? There it is, right there. But I was hoping for more like having her use her armor set, if that makes sense. In the show, she puts on this kind of Iron Man armor esque outfit. So I was hoping for something like that. But then again, who knows? Maybe that'll be a costume change, or who knows. But my hope for that was because while Adam Eve is a very powerful character in the show, she doesn't seem to be too overpowered, especially when fighting Viltrumites. She's very effective. So I was hoping that maybe they would have her armored up, and as she gets damaged, her armor kind of dissipates and goes away. That would have been pretty cool. But let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy these quick gameplay photos for their fighting style? Did you? I like this ult. This ult's so cool, or ult or whatever, the final move, whatever you want to call it. So cool. I love it when she used it in the show. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this gameplay, and let's go ahead and move on over to our next topic. Our next topic of the day is we're going to be talking about Forza Horizon 5, which a month ago dropped on the PlayStation and has now reached a milestone, selling over 2 million copies sold. Now it's the report. This is being reported. I don't think everything's been proven yet, but I think it's really great that Xbox game releasing on PlayStation in 2 months has sold 2 million copies. Now, mind you, this game came out in 2018, I think. Let's double check that. Forgive me, guys. I'm getting a little sore throat here. Let's double check when Forza came out. Forza Horizon 5 came out on 2021. Sorry. So it came out about 4 years ago. So I think this is really good for Xbox. This is proof of concept that Xbox games will be successful when they release them on PlayStation. And I'm sure that people over at Xbox are celebrating a lot with making 2 million copies sold, which is, I don't know how much they're selling it for. I know that they're doing sales, but let's just say it's $30 a piece. So they made like $60 million off a game that they released 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm sure they're happy about that. There's more details in this article if you're interested in hearing more, but I thought the most important thing would be talking about the fact that a game that came to PlayStation made so much money, and I think it's going to be good for the next couple games to come to PlayStation. They will obviously make some money. I think Gears of War is going to be our big milestone there, because you're getting 3 games for the price of one, and it's a remake. So hopefully, with the multiplayer and things like that, and the cheaper price, I think it's going to be sold for like $40, if I'm not mistaken. So all that being said, I think they're going to do really good sales on the PS5. Going ahead and move over to our next topic of the day, shall we? Our next topic of the day is regarding kind of the layoff. So after Microsoft had laid off over 9,000 people, I believe it was, it seems that they're now looking to hire some people. But that being said, it looks like the principal development lead at Xbox Graphic used an AI generated image for a job posting, and people are up at arms about it currently. So just to show you guys, here's the image. AI generated, obviously. Xbox Graphics is hiring, and there's a lot of people that are a little upset, especially after such mass layoffs and things like that. They have a link to the LinkedIn post, so let's go ahead and take a look at that and read some of the comments, because some of the comments, I'm sure, are hilarious. US only, question mark? No. Let's see. Crappy AI art, check. What a dream. Microsoft get games. Someone reviewed the image about issues going on with the image. I'm sure this is a graphical person, so yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that there's things going on in the world when it comes to the gaming industry. Lots of layoffs. I know another company just recently laid off about 60 to 100 people. Age of Learning, if you haven't heard of them, they laid off some people. Um, so yeah, it's just a hard time in the game industry, and with people making decisions like that. Now I'm sure that this principal development lead didn't mean to make it seem like that. I'm sure he was trying to do something fun and entertaining. But after 9,000 people get laid off doing something like that and using AI, which is something that most people are against right now, especially in the gaming industry and the film industry, not the best thing to do. Yeah, so somewhat embarrassing and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment down below. Do you think what do you think about this situation? Me, I just think he made a mistake. I'm sure he didn't mean to hurt nobody, but I'm sure that a lot of Xbox postings and stuff will be monitored going forward. Moving on to our next topic of the day, in better news in the game industry, while yes, we're getting 9,000 people, excuse me, laid off and a bunch of shit going on in the game industry, we have some good news. Looks like the Summer Games Done Quickly has raised over $2.4 million for charity, which is really great. If you're interested in watching, there's a YouTube video. Again, I'll have everything in the description down below if you want to get the links to all these articles and check them out for yourself. But yeah, they raised 2.436614 million, which is really, really great for charity. This is going to be going to the Doctors Without Borders. Yeah, so if you're interested in watching and seeing what games that they streamed, I know they did Super Mario Market 2. They did, what is it, Super Mario World. Oh, yeah, all the games are listed right here. So if you're interested in checking out speed runs, I'm probably going to check out the Sekiro one because that seems to be a very interesting speed run. But yeah, over here, an hour-long video if you're interested in checking all that out and seeing what they did for this year's Summer Games done quickly. And congratulations to them on raising $2.4 million. I hope it goes to a great cause with Doctors Without Borders. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's great that this charity raised some more money? And hopefully, I don't know if we can still support if we're able to. If you're interested in supporting a charity, and go ahead and check out Summer's Game Done Quickly. They do a lot of speed runs, and you can donate as you watch. And I think it's really fun and really cool that the gaming community does something like this. Moving on to our next topic of the day. Actually, excuse me, guys. I'm gonna drink something because I keep clearing my throat. Forgive me for that, guys. Moving on to our last game news topic of the day. And our last topic has to do with Stop Killing Games movement again. So a lot going on in the game industry lately with the Stop Killing Games, with the layoffs, with charities even. So just so much going on. But it looks like the Stop Killing Game movements has now gained the support of the Vice President of the European Parliament, whose name is, forgive me again, I'm horrible with names. I'm gonna butcher this. Nicholas Ștefănuță. Jesus, I'm butchering that damn name. My apologies, sir. But yeah, so just to dive deeper into what's going on here with the Stop Killing Games. It started off with a YouTuber, Ross Scott, and he just basically, they shut down the crew and he wanted to continue to play it and they stopped the support of it. And he was very upset because initially purchasing a game, you have the rights to the game and stuff like that. So people were upset that now multiple live service games are going to be shut down and people were just having issues. Now I know a very popular YouTuber, Jason Thor Hall, recently came out with a video talking about his thoughts on it, and I'm in agreement with him that having studios do that will not be for the benefit of the studio. Therefore, they won't make live service games like that no more. But also, again, you want to do good for your community, do good for the gamers and stuff like that, and you want them to be able to continue to play cool, fun games that they want to purchase. So it's a balance. It's a balancing act, and I don't know how they're gonna do it. I think most studios are gonna step back from live service games, seeing as how they're not doing as successful as they initially thought they were doing. It's kind of like the streaming services and stuff like that. You want to dive into stuff. Here's a comment from a post. I stand with the people who started the excuse me. Excuse me. I stand with the people who started this citizenization initiative. I signed and will continue to help them. A game once sold belongs to the customer, not the company. Now I don't know who posted that. It looks like it's from Stop Killing Games, but maybe this was a comment from the vice president, if I'm not mistaken. But we're gonna have to. I don't know all the details about that. Also, it looks like there's now 1.35 million signatures for the Stop Killing Games Act. Now, mind you, this is only in the UK currently. I don't think they have one in the United States, but I'm sure that it'll eventually get over here as time goes on. There's just a lot going on, man, and it's really interesting time to be a gamer, a really interesting time to be a studio, because with, like I said, there's gonna be issues with this, whether it's the studios no longer backing things like this and continuing to make the games that people want them to make, or it's just the gamers having to realize that they're not going to own their games that they buy, and there's just going to be a licensing for temporary purchase, I guess, or until they shut down the servers. We'll see what ends up happening, but again, this is just very interesting stuff going on in the world of video games, so we'll see what happens with all. And that does it for our game news topic of the day. So let me know what you guys think. What stories did you find the most interesting? And are you guys kind of tired of hearing about all the BS going on with the game industry? At this point, I'm getting a little sick of all these layoffs and all this shit. I'm curious what is going to happen in the future. So that's why I continue to read. But let me know what you guys think. Moving on to our movie news topics of the day. our first movie news topic is we're going to be discussing this past weekend's box office numbers. Now, forgive me, guys. I usually have these links opened, but I forgot to do so, and I'm trying to catch up on getting them ready for our topic. So it might be a little slower, might be a little clicking here and there. So forgive me for that, guys. But let's go ahead and move over to our first topic of the day. Again, box office. Now, this past weekend's box office, Superman was released this past weekend, and it is sitting at $122 million, reaching the number one at this worldwide box office, or domestic box office, forgive me. Um, Jurassic Park Rebirth sitting at 40 million, F1 sitting at 13 million, How to Train Your Dragon sitting at 7.8 million, and Elio rounding out the top five at 3.9 $1 million. So now let's dive more deep into the Superman box office. I don't think it opened up in every territory, but worldwide it's sitting at 217 million dollars, which I'm sure, excuse me, the studio is very happy about, especially when they're trying to redo a universe and their last couple movies didn't do so well, like The Flash and Aquaman and things like that. People weren't interested. So it's interesting seeing people back and interested in a Superman movie. So that's exciting for them. Now, I wanted to do a little comparison to how it would compare to the original Man of Steel release. Now, mind you, this Man of Steel one, of course, is its entire box office. So it reached 670 million. So we're curious and we'll keep an eye and see if it reaches Man of Steel's initial numbers there. But let's go ahead and check out its domestic weekends. Its first weekend in release, it reached, let's see, it was up against This Is the End. It looked like it didn't have a lot of competition going on back then during the day, but it reached $116 million. This was back in 2013. So I think it's very on par with what we got going on with the current Superman movie. Now, mind you, adjusted for inflation, I believe that 116 would be a lot more than what it's currently sitting at as far as this Superman movie is concerned. So they're about even, and I'm thinking, depending on how it does in the territories, this movie will probably end up reaching the $700 million mark. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I know the studio is very happy, and that's the important part at the moment. Another thing I wanted to look at was the How to Train Your Dragon box office and the F1 box office. And if you guys are curious, just the Jurassic World is currently worldwide sitting at $500 million. So congratulations to them. I know they're very happy. Not a very great movie in my opinion, but people are very interested in the Jurassic franchise, and if they just make good movies, a lot of people will come and watch them, I'm sure. F1's not doing as well as I had hoped, coming up on the $400 million mark. I'm hoping that this gets to about $500 million because I do want to see a sequel or that spinoff with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. And I know this movie was quite expensive. If I remember correctly, it was around the $250 million mark. So they're going to need about $500 million to get close to where we want a sequel. 600 if we definitely want a sequel. So we'll see what happens with this movie. We'll keep our eyes on it. Again, and I know that this movie F1's more popular worldwide, so maybe as it releases in more markets, we'll see better numbers for that. But I'm not sure if it's in every market at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see for that one. Moving on to How to Train Your Dragon. How to Train Your Dragon is currently at $560 million, which is phenomenal. I'm sure they're celebrating greatly over there. Domestically, it's doing ridiculous numbers, and yeah, I'm sure they're very, very happy with this number. And as the weekends continue to or as the days continue to go, you're still hitting the $1 million marks per day. This past weekend, 7 million. So I know that they're very happy. And we'll talk more about How to Train Your Dragon in a later story today regarding that. But yeah, that is the top 10 box office. And if you guys are curious, because I am curious, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Let's check that out. Again, it made 1.4 million this weekend, number 8. Currently sitting at almost 600 million, $584 million. I think this is good. I think it will reach the $600 million mark by the end of its run, and I think that's going to be really good for the Mission Impossible franchise. They needed a big win like this, and I'm sure the studio is somewhat happy because I think this cost $400 million to make because of COVID and stuff like that. So I'm sure they're happy with some of the results. Moving on to our next movie news topic of the day. So it looks like Ryan Johnson has come out and said some comments regarding his Star Wars trilogy that they initially had planned. And while Kathleen Kennedy and them were kind of hyping up his return to the Star Wars universe because he is a great director, while I didn't enjoy The Last Jedi, his other movies and what he does on his own for his own filmmaking is great. The Knives Out movies are awesome. That Bruce Willis movie Looper was phenomenal. So I think he is a great writer, great director. I just don't think he was very good for Star Wars. So I know the initial backlash of his film for the Star Wars film, a lot of fans were not very happy. And when he got announced to have his own trilogy in development, of course, there was a lot of backlash for that as well. But he's go ahead and said some comments regarding that, and his comments were that with his Star Wars journey, they didn't get past the very conceptual stage and never had any outline or treatment for the film, which makes a lot of sense. I think his announcement, while initially, I'm sure initially Kathleen Kennedy thought it was a great idea to bring him back. If you want to know his exact comments, go ahead and check out this article. Again, everything's in the description down below. But I think initially Kathleen Kennedy brought him on because they liked what he did with The Last Jedi, thinking that it was going to be kind of different than what the usual Star Wars thing was. But I'm sure they weren't expecting the fans to have such a backlash towards the film. And when they did, they probably had already had his next trilogy in mind for what he was going to be doing in Star Wars. So they probably already had it on the books. They announced it, of course. And after all the backlash and stuff like that, I'm sure that it never got past the conceptual stages because no one was really interested in it, and it would have just been worse for the studio if they made movies, especially after something like that. Now, the Star Wars fandoms can be a bit toxic, depending on the online basis or whatever. But I do agree that The Last Jedi wasn't good, which also made The Rise of Skywalker not good as well because they had to fix a lot of issues, or J.J. Abrams had to come back and just try to do. It's really sad that they didn't plan out the trilogy from the beginning and they had each individual director come in and do their own thing, which I feel was a huge mistake on their part. But yeah, it just makes sense that Ryan Johnson's film was never going to get off the ground and never got past the conceptual stages. But what do you guys think? Are you happy you didn't get a Ryan Johnson Star Wars film? I was kind of interested in what he was going to do with his trilogy if he ever got off the ground. But again, I also think that it was just them showing face, kind of, because they had already signed him. But I knew that was never going to go nowhere. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, forgive me, guys. I got to pull up these next topics because I don't have them out currently. Get some of these going. Go. All right. So our next movie news topic of the day is regarding Spider-Man Brand New Day. It looks like Tom Holland has come out and said some comments that they're going to go back to old school filmmaking for Brand New Day because the previous No Way Home Spider-Man movie was during COVID, so they did a lot of stage productions and things weren't filmed on location. That being said, I think it was for the benefit of that Spider-Man movie No Way Home because they were bringing in Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and I think them being on sound stages for that was beneficial because it kept it quite a bit of secret. Now I know there were some leaks and stuff like that as the movie was getting closer to release, but Andrew Garfield being him, he kind of said, "Oh, it's photoshopped," or "Oh, there's like AI or something like that, or deep fake or whatever." So he really played his hand quite well on pushing away from him being in the movie, which I think was great for the movie. And I'm sure no one will ever believe him again, but I really do feel that was the benefit for the movie. And them filming on stages was also a benefit because, you have camera crews, you have people walking by when they're filming and capture pictures, capture on-set footage. So I think that was the benefit for that movie. Regarding Brand New Day, I also think this is a great benefit for Brand New Day because this is the director from Shang-Chi. I think his name is hold on, what's his name? Destin Daniel Crenton, which I think I loved his Shang-Chi movie. I'm excited to see what he does with Spider-Man. The action for Shang-Chi was phenomenal, so for him to bring that aspect into Spider-Man is going to be a lot of fun, in my opinion. Uh, but to know that they're filming on location and on stage is really fun and really nice, especially after dealing with all the COVID and everything for them, I'm sure. And as a movie goer and as a movie watcher, while I know we don't fully pay attention to the whole background and stuff like that, there is a very visual difference between watching someone actually there in person in that house, on that land, or on that field. For example, Lord of the Rings, a lot of that was filmed on location. You feel the scale of the film and of the background when people film that way, as opposed to doing sound stages and green screen. It's just very standout. So I'm liking that they're doing that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited that Brand New Day is going to be filming on location? Moving on to our fourth movie news topic of the day. I think this is exciting news. We have our first look. Excuse me. We have our first look at the new Harry Potter. Now, if you haven't seen, he is in, of course, the opening here on the right hand side. But this comes to us from Variety, who I believe has an exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go ahead and jump over here. There we go. Harry Potter first look. Now, I I think it's funny because when I first saw this image, I just felt that it was someone cosplaying as Harry Potter. It's just, I know it's biasy in my part because I grew up with uh not Daniel Craig. Who am I thinking about? Oh my god, what is Harry Potter's name? Jesus, I was gonna annoy me. I can't think of his name right now. What's his name? Let's see if I could look this up real quick. Oh my, and I think Daniel Craig, not Daniel Craig. Jesus, God, I'm dumb. What is his name? Why can't I find him anywhere? Because I can't. Daniel Radcliffe. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. So, Daniel Radcliffe, as I was saying, for some reason, I can't get out of my head seeing this image that the kid is cosplaying. I just can't get Daniel Radcliffe out of my head. So, anytime I see this kid in this outfit, I just see him as a cosplayer, not as Harry Potter. But, again, I think that's just a bias on my part because I grew up with the original Harry Potter movies. So I'm sure as I see the series and as it goes forward and continues, I'll get more understanding and in depth with his character and feel him out as Harry Potter. And I'm sure eventually I'll fall in love with him as the character as well. And I just think it's very interesting seeing a recasting like this and stuff like that. And it's weird. It's I never see this stuff for other things. Like for example, the Running Man trailer just came out with not Guy Ritchie. What the hell's it? Oh my god, I'm not looking him up. Anyways, the Running Man trailer came out, and originally that was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and now it's the god damn it, the guy from Top Gun, Maverick. My brain is not working today, guys. Forgive me. Not the original Top Gun. We want Top Gun Maverick. Glenn Powell. Yeah, Twister's guy. So Glenn Powell is now the new Running Man, but for some reason I don't see like when I see Glenn Powell as the new Running Man, I just see it as a typical remake. I don't see him as taking over a role like from Arnold, like I do with this Harry Potter, or like I would if, let's say, Back to the Future was remade and they recast Doc Brown and Marty. Then I would be like, oh, they don't look like Marty, they don't look like Doc Brown. So it's just very biased in my opinion. But what do you guys think? I think he looks adorable. He looks like he's a great little kid, and I'm excited to see what he does with the role. I'm excited to see what the series does overall as far as expanding the story and telling more of the books and stuff that we missed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below on this first look at our new Harry Potter. Moving on to our last movie news topic of the day. Now, I remember during the box office segment, we were talking about How to Train Your Dragon. So this is about How to Train Your Dragon, and it is coming to digital release. Now, I hate it when articles do this. They talk about it coming to digital release, and then you go to read when, and it doesn't tell you shit but what the movie's about at the beginning. That is the most annoying thing you can do when you're writing an article. Give us what we came for. You're teasing us with the comment. We don't want to read your whole bullshit. Tell us it after, and if you interest us in the beginning with the news we want, we will continue to read it. Anyways, that rant aside, when you scroll all the way down here, right here, it'll let you know that it's going to be released on Amazon Prime, Apple TV for purchase, Fandango, whatever, on July 15th, which is tomorrow. And I think this is both of, I know why they're doing it. They're doing it because they're trying to build up off the hype. They've already made $500 million box office, and they want to get that initial hype of, oh, it just left theaters. If you want to watch it at home, maybe try to make another $100 million if they're able to. But I think this is a mistake. And the reason I think this is a mistake, and I think multiple studios are making mistakes, is this movie's been out for a month. 1 month. And people that are interested in watching this movie, yes, they will go initially, but if studios continue with this format, there will be people out there like, I'll just wait a month because then I could buy it digitally and own it, or I could rent it and watch it. I don't have to go to the theater, and I could see it with my entire family. So my house, we have a family of 4. So renting a movie for a family of 4 is about $20-$25, depending on the movie and depending on what the rental price is and where you rent it. Let's just say it's $25. If I were to go to the theater, 2 tickets is $25, depending on where I go. If I'm in LA, 1 ticket is $25. LA, like if I watch LA Dolby Theater downtown, $25 ticket, right? So I can save money if I wait a month, buy one $25 ticket and watch it for 4 people at home. Matter of fact, I know people that are having movie nights where they'll invite over their friends. So I've done this before. A movie is released and I invite over friends and family, and hey guys, we're gonna watch this movie and have a little get together. Come on, join us. I had about 20 people come. They were interested in watching the movie. And everyone sat there, enjoyed their popcorn, had some pizza, got to enjoy the movie, and we spent only $25 watching the movie. Now, mind you, if we went to the theater and did this, maybe not all 20 people would have came, maybe 10 people would have. But still, you would have made a lot more money. You would have made $200, probably more. Who knows? Off of tickets. And that's just saying a lot for this industry and how they're doing this. Now this one's not being released on streaming yet. I'm sure that'll come another month from now, but or sometime later down the road, maybe August, October, who knows. But the point being is that this is still making good money at the box office. We just read the box office earlier in our story right now, and right now, How to Train Your Dragon made $7.8 million. $7.8 million. It's dropping 30%. If it drops another 30% next weekend, let's just say it drops 50%. Okay, just for the sake of argument. So you're looking at another 3.5 million. 3.5 million. You're still getting great money and great value for your movie being in theaters, and you're helping the theatrical experience stay exclusive and stay an experience. You're helping the theater because you're keeping it there longer, and theaters are struggling right now. You know, and that's to the theater's fault, but also the studios aren't helping with them releasing stuff like this. So I feel that studios are missing out on a lot of money because let's face it, if they release this on digital to purchase, let's say they do that in, I don't know, let's say they do that in December. Let's just say December. Holiday release, How to Train Your Dragon. You don't think people will purchase it then? If people that want to buy it, people that are interested in it, people that want to rewatch it with their family during the holiday, you think just because you're hyping it up right after a month of its release, it's going to be on sale or whatever? I don't understand. They're missing out on a lot of money, and it frustrates me because I feel like they don't understand what's happening. Now, mind you, again, I'm not looking at the financials. I'm not looking at the analytics. I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm coming at it from a moviegoer's perspective. But as a moviegoer, their audience, someone that pays them to watch this movie, Why did I go see it in the theaters a month ago if I could just wait for it to be at home? Now, mind you, I do shows like this and stuff like that, but I know that there's a lot of you out there, and I'm sure there's a lot of normal people out there that are like, I'm not going to go see it. I have a cousin who lives a couple miles away from me. It's her husband, and they have like five or six, they have, there's like 7, 8 people in their house. They will not go out for movie nights like How to Train Your Dragon because they know they could wait a month. Matter of fact, she just texted me saying, "Hey, isn't How to Train Your Dragon coming out soon?" I said, "Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow." And she's like, "I knew it." I said, "You haven't seen the movie yet?" She goes, "No, I haven't seen it. I've been waiting for it to come out on stream." And I told her it's not streaming; it's for rent. And she goes, "That's fine too." It's just a perfect example. She could have went with her family if she knew she wasn't going to be able to see it for a couple months or till December. She'd been like, "Oh, I better go see that movie." But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I wrong about this? Do you feel differently than I do? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that does it for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Let me double check. Yep. All right. Yeah, that's a wrap for today of the Truly Odd Podcast. If you like what you watch, please like and subscribe. And if you guys are interested in seeing other type of contents and other type of things, I'm thinking about breaking off my reviews into their own separate videos. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All that being said, guys, always remember, stay true, be odd.